Xerfi Global has recently published a study on global logistics groups. The sector is wide and expanding, focusing not just on transporting an item from A to B, but also creating value for customers by improving their supply chains through material handling, warehousing, packaging, security, inventory management, procurement, and customs services. Despite variable markets, demand for logistics is set to widen and deepen, propped up by several favourable structural factors. These include globalisation, as a liberalised trade environment has created a global marketplace, increasing distances between producing regions and end consumers, and demographics, as increasing populations, particularly the urbanising middle class in emerging countries, are boosting consumption. Another factor is the growing trend towards outsourcing. The need to control logistics costs and concentrate on core business means manufacturers are turning to third-party companies to manage logistics operations. Supply and value chain fragmentation means that manufacturing operations are spread across countries to take advantage of comparative advantages and therefore more complex and require additional expertise that logistics companies are well placed to provide. E-commerce is also leading to a boom in parcel volume growth, which means more good news for logistics providers. On a global level, trade is growing, but not at a uniform pace. The biggest growth in trade, and therefore in logistic needs in the last 10 years, has been seen in trade flows between and within emerging regions. Trade from Africa and the Middle East towards Asia, as well as between Latin America and Asia, have seen the highest growth, expanding by over 20% per year in the last decade, as a result of growing wealth, expanding demographics, and increasing raw material imports and industrial exports. As the centre of gravity of both production and demand shift to emerging economies, and with more free or preferential trade agreements coming on the stream, trade flows will carry on growing between and within emerging regions with robust economic growth. Given this context, companies are focusing on broadening their portfolios to provide new products and services tailored to customer needs. They are also seizing growth opportunities on high-potential emerging markets and are additionally developing customer-specific expertise, particularly in high-margin growth areas such as healthcare. While costs are being reduced to improve profitability, considerable investment in information technology to improve internal processes and customer relationships is also being seen, as is organic growth through the establishment of new facilities such as warehouses. In addition to this, partnerships and mergers and acquisitions are in vogue, so as to gain access to new markets, niche markets, and the most profitable trade routes. The sector is set to see continued development over the coming years. The mastery of a web of extensive data sources through IT is already a differentiation factor in the industry, and demand and processes are likely to be shaken up considerably by the rise of new developments in technology such as e-commerce, but also the impacts of 3D printing and big data.